In this world, everyone is given a planet to become a planet lord, and I clearly possess a 3S class mechanical planet capable of creating 1,000,000 mechs. Recently, Nantian City has been very unstable. We should also gather some strength, not provoke those people. Some people we really can't afford to offend, that's the reality, everyone. After some debate among the dozen people, they decided that Hoshino was someone not to be provoked. What's next? How do we proceed? At this moment, in the environment card of the Land of Decay, Ayu was sweating profusely as she continued to investigate the surrounding monsters. At first, she felt it was just a routine reconnaissance, no problem at all. But as time went on, the number of puppets she released for reconnaissance increased. The images sent back to her mind also increased. If she lost control for a moment, all these memories and images could instantly overwhelm her. Wu Xing was also excited at this moment. This level of strength was much stronger than those of the other families. Perhaps she could talk to Hoshino later. Hoshino was not currently controlling the Black Warrior mech, but letting it act freely. Even without using the mech's mode that surpasses limits, it could still sweep through these ordinary monsters. How to proceed? Of course, we go straight ahead. There are so many monsters here, kill them all. These materials are very useful to me, and as for treasures, I can give them to you. Okay, sure. If you want more of these treasures, I already have 5, this time in the environment card, you are leading me. Ayu and Wu Xing quickly agreed. At a glance, they could see that even without any reconnaissance, Hoshino's strength would not be stopped by any monsters. In the sky, there are hundreds of black thunder dragons roaming. These thunder dragons are not just for show, sometimes they strike directly at some monsters. It's okay, you can take one share, what belongs to you will be yours. At that time, Galway also took one share. After you go back this time, you should improve your strength. Someone has targeted you, who exactly is targeting you, you are not clear yet, obviously the other party wants to kill you. Soden Hong's expression was complicated. She couldn't understand how she was inexplicably targeted by someone. She really couldn't understand. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Wu Xing also spoke up. Since you have such strength, I wonder if you are willing to help me out. We can discuss the reward. Of course, I won't let a talent like you suffer. Wu Xing's voice was gentle and sounded lovable. But Xingye was not a novice now. In the territory space, Xingye had seen the humanoid form of the Black Warrior, so he was immune to this kind of voice. His own treasures, which one was not good looking? Well, let's talk after we finish scanning this environment card. Next, Xingye took the 3 women and rampaged through the entire environment card. Along the way, no monster could last around under the Black Warrior mech. Ayu took 1 share of treasures. Wu Xing didn't take anything. Soden Hong took 1 share. All the remaining treasures went to Xingye, but what Xingye valued most were the bodies of these monsters. These bodies were considered materials by the Heavenly Net. Now she had used these materials to create a total of 6 rift towns in the territory space. Even if she sent the Black Warrior mech back now, the rift towns would come out directly. Xingye felt that after a few shots, there would be nothing left in this environment card. Not to mention the treasures in the environment card, even the bodies of the monsters probably wouldn't be intact. It was also at this time that Soden Hong finally understood why Galway had insisted so strongly on her to bring Xingye, and even drew a portrait of Xingye on the spot. Soden Hong had thought that Xingye and Galway had some kind of family relationship. Now she understood. It wasn't a family relationship, it was a big thigh, a very big thigh. In a private room of a tea house, Xingye and Wu Xing sat facing each other. Ayu stood, not sitting directly. If I'm not mistaken, you are the mechanical lord who graduated from the Qingting Academy, the one related to Jiang Yunxiao. Hearing this, Xingye frowned slightly. It seemed that someone had come looking for trouble. But the other party was so confident, it seemed that these families were not to be underestimated. Yes. If you have something to discuss, get straight to the point. Xingye lost patience instantly. Wu Xing had long practiced the skill of observing words and expressions. Don't misunderstand, I just heard about you and made some deductions based on that information. Among the graduates of this generation, only you have this kind of strength. Although many students from the other 3 academies also graduated today, their strength is not that great. Of course, compared to previous years, it's not bad, but if we compare you, it's like heaven and earth. If you don't explain your purpose, I'm going to leave. I'm busy and don't have time to play with you. Xingye stood up slowly, planning to leave the private room. Since there was nothing to discuss, he would leave. Don't be in such a hurry. I admire strong people like you. As long as you help me out, you can name your price for resources and such. In a way, what I need to do is also related to you, even similar to what you have in mind. The previous words were actually testing whether Xingye was the person Wu Xing had in mind. Now it seemed that he was, without a doubt. After planning for so long, it was absolutely impossible for her to make any mistakes at this time. She had always been cautious, and now she was testing Hoshino because of her caution. For her plan, she needed to be as certain as possible. Do you have the same plan as me? Hoshino thought carefully. The woman in front of him, although she looked young like a student, the few words she said didn't seem like a student to Hoshino. She seemed like someone experienced. Her heart must be extremely ruthless. If she wasn't ruthless, she wouldn't survive. It seemed that the environment in the wild team circle was not as simple as it seemed. That's right. I also dislike the Wu family. Trust me, when the time comes, you will know who I am. After all, you are for Jiang Yinshao, and I am for wiping out all the scum of the Wu family. Wu Xing's face remained calm, but there was a slight change when she mentioned wiping out the Wu family. It seemed like a vendetta. Hoshino didn't think much about it. The change in the other party's facial expression was obvious, indicating that she was an enemy. So you are an enemy of the Wu family. What did they do? Just asking casually. Hoshino remained calm. The previous probing seemed to be to confirm whether I was trustworthy or not. They killed my parents, my brothers, it's that simple. Now that I have grown up enduring humiliation, I must seek revenge. If our cooperation goes well this time, we can continue to work together in the future. When Wu Xing said this, there was a hint of pride on her face. A card maker, no matter which power they belonged to, could be a respected guest. In the entire southern Sky City, there was no family with a card maker. Once you become a card maker, resources can be more efficiently utilized to some extent. For example, with 1 million star sources, a mid-level 1-star environment card can be created. The profit margin is unknown. And, some environment cards with traps can also be made. Oh, so there is more than one enemy in the southern Sky City who is your enemy? Wu Xing's face stiffened slightly. What do you mean by more than one enemy? The cooperation I mentioned later is not about this. AU beside her couldn't help but smile. That's not what I meant. What I meant is that I am a card maker, and we can continue to cooperate in the future. After all, I have seen your strength. When I create an environment card, if I want to improve its quality, I must release most of my control at the moment of creation. This way, the quality of the environment card will be greatly improved. Otherwise, with the same amount of star sources, if I fully control the environment card, it means that the quality of the card won't be very good. For example, when a card maker creates an environment card, if they don't let the card develop on its own, the quality won't be very high. Similarly, when the environment card is created, if the card maker completely controls it, the card maker will have great control over the internal space of the environment card. But the quality of the environment card won't be very high. Most card makers wouldn't choose to do this. Oh, Wu Xing's forehead showed a few blue veins. After saying so much, do you understand at all? I am a card maker, a card maker. Roaring, Wu Xing's chest kept rising and falling. She felt like she was going to be driven crazy by this person. Many people show extreme respect and good attitude when facing a card maker, but the situation was completely different with Hoshino. I am actually a mid-level card maker. I can now create a mid-level 1-star war resource card and a mid-level 1-star environment card, do you understand? Wu Xing's expression was extremely serious. The eyes stared at Hoshino as if they could pierce his skull. Yeah, it's fine, Hoshino looked puzzled. What's the big deal about being a card maker? Is there something different? Can you create a mid-level 1-star environment card? For Hoshino, his way of exploring the environment card was different from others. Most people relied on their luck and experience. But for him, he wouldn't be suppressed by too many environment cards. So basically, ordinary environment cards were all the same to him as long as he hadn't explored them 7 or 8 times. Fine. If Hoshino said oh again, Wu Xing would lose interest in him. But Hoshino just said fine. A flame of anger rose in Wu Xing's heart. Just as she was about to show off her proud creation, a fake mid-level eternal environment card, she hesitated. After years of planning, she decided to let it go. She couldn't risk losing everything just because of a moment of anger. Wu Xing couldn't accept such an outcome. What is this? Hoshino also noticed something off about Wu Xing. What's wrong with this woman? Then Hoshino realized that there was nothing in the private room of the tea house except a table and 2 sofas. A youth stood by the side, most likely Wu Xing's bodyguard. Ding! Hoshino understood and lightly pressed the bell on the table. Soon a waiter entered. Hello, do you need anything? Bring me 2 cups of hot water, Hoshino thought. He didn't have any star source now, but there were many treasures and intermediate materials in the Lord's space. Apart from treasures, those materials were taken by Tianwang to make the Rift Town. and there were at least 10 rift towns inside. For Hoshino, this kind of mechanical manufacturing item for artillery support, the more the better. Wu Xing understood Hoshino's words. This is really a strange person. I've seen so many people, I've calculated each one, but this person is simply mysterious. Hot water? Bring 2 cups of bitter tea. Wu Xing took a deep breath. It's okay, masters are usually a bit eccentric. She could understand someone like Hoshino. Perhaps it's this different way of thinking that is one of the signs of being a master. Wu Xing could only deceive herself with these words, although she felt like slamming the table on Hoshino's face. Shortly after, Hoshino left the teahouse's private room. Wu Xing looked at the empty seats in front of her, feeling a sense of emptiness. Now, the thing she feared and hated the most had come back to her side. Loneliness. Gurgle. Wu Xing picked up the tea on her table and drank it all in one go. You. Where do you think this extraordinary person comes from? Wu Xing frowned slightly. Honestly, she really couldn't understand Hoshino. His way of thinking was just too peculiar. Was he talking about the tea drinking issue just now? You smiled. She had never seen Wu Xing like this before. At least for you, this person will become a good friend in the future. Perhaps this is your luck. You smiled. She could sense that during those moments just now, especially when Wu Xing and Hoshino ordered tea, Wu Xing's mood was quite beautiful. A friend? Something worth celebrating. Wu Xing's face brightened. She had just mentioned that their plan had been discussed. As long as Hoshino helped her deal with the last breath of the Wu family, she was willing to give up most of the Wu family's resources directly. It is indeed worth celebrating. So, are we going back now? Yes, let's go back for a while. We'll dress up first, turn into Wu Haoren, and then go find that Zhang Yunxiao. There was a hint of envy in the tone. If it were in the past, such a thing would not have happened in their family. Now she could also have a sincere relationship like Zhang Yunxiao. I didn't expect you to envy others like this. Envy? What envy? I don't envy at all. I just admire the good luck of this woman. What envy? Don't talk nonsense. Ayu nodded with a smile on her face. At the Hu family. Hu Xing's face was complicated. His eyes were like an angry tiger. His father's body was starting to weaken. Initially, he was quite happy, especially when he saw Xingye bring back so many intermediate suit series treasures. On one hand, it was a strengthening of their family's power. On the other hand, in the eyes of the old man in the Hu family, Xingye was his grandson. It suited his temperament. He was not one to be trifled with. And he also respected him. How is it? Hu Xing saw a lord who was particularly skilled in treatment walking out of his father's bedroom and immediately went up to him. The lord also knew this was the Hu family. He himself had some cooperation with the Hu family. At this moment, his expression was not very good either. Seeing this scene, Hu Xing's eyes narrowed. He immediately knew that the situation in front of him was not good. However, the old master of the Hu family was not doing well. Hu Xing was the pillar of Hu Yong'an. Tell me, I know some of my father's condition. I won't blame you. It's not your fault. Just tell me, how long can he hold on, and how can he be treated? Hu Xing suppressed his anger and fury. His character was not weak. It's just that the old man, he always suppressed his anger and temperament, otherwise he would have directly confronted the academy and the Wu and Zhang families before. There was no other reason. Just relying on his A-level lord talent, the Fury Beast. Their family, until Lu Tianhe, still had this lord talent. The lord shook his head slightly. What's on the old man's body can't be considered an illness, nor can it be considered a wound. It should be considered a curse. This curse is easy to break if you have a mid-level 8-star purification card, which is rare in the card empire, even extinct. Generally only found in those Western countries.